You have probably heard the word trillion mentioned in the news many times, but you cannot truly visualize its massive scale. Most people struggle to even imagine $1 billion. So let us break down what 1 trillion actually represents right now. Imagine holding a single, crisp $100 bill in your hand, which is the starting point of this incredible journey. A stack of these bills worth $10,000 is about half an inch thick and easily fits in your pocket. But to reach $1 trillion, you would need a pile of cash that defies every single known law of physics. Let us start with $1 million, which is a stack about 4 inches high, easily fitting inside a small briefcase. Now, if we move to $100 million, the pile grows to the size of a standard wooden shipping pallet. $1 billion is where things get crazy, because now you have 10 massive pallets stacked high with cold, hard cash. To visualize $1 billion, imagine a field of money that would take you several minutes just to walk across completely. However, we are not even close to the trillion mark, because a trillion is 1,000 times larger than that amount. If you spent $1 every single second, it would take you about 32,000 years to finish it all. That means if you started spending at the peak of the last ice age, you would still have money left today. Let us look at the physical size of $1 trillion, using only $100 bills as our primary unit. You would need 10,000 double-stacked pallets of cash to hold that much money in a single massive industrial warehouse. This enormous mountain of money would cover an entire football field and reach the height of a 2-story residential building. If you stacked all those bills on top of each other, they would reach 67 miles into the dark sky. That is 10 times higher than where commercial airplanes fly and touches the very edge of outer space itself right now. If you laid the bills end to end, they would wrap around the entire Earth more than nearly 4 full times. The weight of this much cash is also staggering, coming in at over 11,000 tons of pure, heavy paperweight. You would need a fleet of over 500 massive semi-trucks just to transport this wealth across the entire country. To put this in perspective, the total value of all the gold ever mined in history is about $12 trillion. Apple and Microsoft are some of the few companies on Earth that have ever reached a multi-trillion-dollar market valuation. If you earned $100,000 every single day, it would take you 27,000 years to save up. This amount of money could literally pay for the education of every single student in the United States for many decades. You could buy a luxury mansion in every major city on the planet and still have almost everything left over today. $1 trillion is enough to build a fleet of 100 modern aircraft carriers for the world's most powerful navy. It is a number so large that our human brains are not naturally evolved to understand the true physical scale clearly. Most governments struggle to manage budgets of this size because every single percentage point represents billions of real human lives. Think about the fact that the top billionaires are still only worth a tiny fraction of this $1 trillion mark. Even the richest person on Earth would need to triple their entire fortune just to reach this incredible financial milestone soon. If you shared this money with every person alive today, each human would receive over $120. While that sounds small, remember that we are talking about every man, woman, and child on the entire green planet. The next time you see a headline about $1 trillion stimulus, remember the mountain of cash we just described. It is not just a number on a screen, but a physical force that could reshape the entire world forever today. Now that you finally see the scale of $1 trillion, ask yourself what you would do with that power. Consider that $1 trillion could instantly eliminate the entire national debt of several small and medium-sized developing nations. If you decided to use this wealth to end global hunger, you would have enough funds to feed everyone for years. Imagine building high-speed rail networks across every single continent, connecting people and cultures in a way never seen before today. This amount could fund a permanent human colony on Mars and build several massive space stations orbiting around our blue planet. You could replace every aging bridge and road in the country while still having hundreds of billions left for future generations. Most people spend their entire lives working just to save a tiny fraction of what this massive mountain of cash represents. It is the difference between owning a nice house and owning the entire real estate market of a major global city. If you invested this money at a modest interest rate, you would earn tens of billions of dollars in passive income. That annual interest alone is more than the total wealth of almost every single famous celebrity or athlete you know today. This scale of wealth allows you to influence global politics and dictate the economic direction of entire regions across the world. You could buy every single team in the NFL and NBA and still have enough money to buy every MLB team. The sheer gravity of $1 trillion is so heavy that it bends the very fabric of our modern capitalist society. Think about the fact that a trillionaire would be more powerful than many kings and queens from our long human history. Such a person could single-handedly solve the global water crisis by building desalination plants for every thirsty nation on Earth. We are talking about the kind of money that can change the trajectory of human evolution through advanced scientific research funding. Every time you hear a politician mention $1 trillion, remember that they are discussing the collective labor of millions. It represents the energy and time and effort of entire generations locked into a single massive and incomprehensible financial figure today. If you were to lose $1 million every day, it would take you nearly 3,000 years to go broke. You would be losing more money every day than most people earn in a lifetime, but you would still be wealthy. Let us visualize the sheer volume once more by imagining a bridge made of cash crossing the wide Atlantic Ocean today. This bridge would be strong enough to support the weight of the entire world if money were a physical structural material. When we look at the stars, we see distances measured in light years, and $1 trillion is the financial equivalent. It is a distance so vast that we can only understand it through math and these dramatic physical comparisons we share. If you stacked $1 trillion in gold bars, the pile would be smaller, but the weight would sink any ship. We must respect the power of this number because it has the potential to heal the world or destroy everything completely. Every single dollar in that trillion represents a choice that could provide food or medicine or education to someone in need. As you go about your day-to-day, remember the image of that football field filled with towers of cold, hard cash. Let that image remind you of how much work is yet to be done to create a fair and balanced world. Because while $1 trillion is just a number, it is also a symbol of our shared human potential and ambition. The next time you see it in the news, you will never look at those 12 zeros the same way again. You now hold the secret of the scale in your mind, and you can see the truth behind the curtain today. Share this vision with your friends so they can also understand the true magnitude of the wealth that runs our world. Knowledge is the first step toward understanding how we can use these massive resources to build a better future for all. The world is a very big place, but $1 trillion is arguably much bigger than we ever dared to imagine. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey through the mind-bending reality of $1 trillion in cash today. Let us consider one final perspective, because even after everything we have seen, the true depth of this number remains hidden. If you saved $10,000 every single day since ancient times, you still would not have reached the trillion mark. That is over 2,000 years of daily saving just to reach a tiny fraction of the ultimate $1 trillion wealth goal. If you printed $1 trillion in single dollar bills, the total weight would exceed 1 million metric tons of heavy paper. This massive weight is equivalent to the mass of over 200,000 elephants standing together in a single giant gray line. Imagine the sheer volume of trees required to produce the paper needed just to print this much physical currency for the world. 1 trillion seconds of time is equal to 31,709 years, which spans almost all of history. We are talking about a timeline that stretches back to the era when woolly mammoths were still roaming the frozen northern plains. This financial titan is not just wealth, but a representation of the total human effort across multiple centuries of hard physical labor. If you could turn every single dollar into a single drop of water, you would fill several massive Olympic-sized swimming pools. Actually, you would fill an entire lake that is deep enough to submerge some of the tallest skyscrapers in the entire world. The power of $1 trillion could theoretically transition the entire planet toward clean, renewable energy sources in less than a decade. It could provide every single human being with a high-speed internet connection and a modern laptop for learning and for work. We are standing at the edge of a financial cliff looking down at a valley of resources that could change human destiny. This is the magnitude of the numbers that global leaders discuss behind closed doors when they plan the future of our civilizations. When a central bank prints money, they are manipulating the very fabric of the reality that we all inhabit every single day. Understanding this scale gives you a unique perspective on the true value of your own time and your own hard-earned money. You are no longer just a spectator, but a witness to the staggering power of concentrated human capital and massive global wealth. Think about how many hospitals and schools could be built if even half of this amount was used for the common good. The next time you feel overwhelmed by a small bill, remember the mountain of cash that we have explored together, right here. It reminds us that while money is a tool, it is the most powerful tool ever created by human minds in history. We have traveled from a single $100 bill to a skyscraper of wealth that touches the very stars in the sky. This journey shows that limits only exist in our minds until we see the physical reality of what we can actually achieve. Carry this vision with you as you navigate the complex world of finance and realize the potential hidden within every single dollar. The 12 zeros of $1 trillion are a gateway to understanding the vast complexity of our modern global and digital financial system. You now possess the mental framework to visualize the impossible and understand the true weight of the world's most powerful economic forces. Take a deep breath and realize that you are part of a species capable of organizing such massive amounts of value today. If you found this exploration mind-blowing, please share it, so others can also grasp the true scale of $1 trillion. Subscribe to our channel to continue exploring the hidden depths of the universe and the incredible numbers that define our shared lives. The world is full of wonder, and we are honored to have you with us as we uncover the secrets of reality. Until next time, remember that the power of $1 trillion starts with just one single step and one single crisp bill.